All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the December NEWNC meeting. My name is John Bregman, President. This time I'd like to recognize Matt Conti from northernwaterfront.com. Are there any other folks in the media here today? All right. Speaking of Matt Conti, he has some great stocking stuffers in the form of calendars, so be sure to go to his website, find them. And he has some over there. Great. If I can ask for a roll call, starting with Brett. Carmen Guarino. John Bregman.
Danielle D'Ambrosio.
Sean Hennessy. Phil Frederick. Thank you. And Carmen, if you can do the meeting protocol.
The meeting will be conducted according to parliamentary rules. The President will have the final word of the conduct of the meeting and will cast a vote only in the event the rest of the council reaches a tie. The President will recognize a speaker to make a presentation or statement and then will permit the council to ask questions. He will then open the floor to questions from the audience. Each audience member will introduce themselves by name and street address. No person will speak until they have been recognized by the President. All speakers will be confined to the time limits. Voting will be done by ballot. The results of all votes will be announced at the conclusion of the meeting.
Thank you. Just a few announcements. The Columbus Day Committee had their toy drive this weekend, which was a success. If you happen to miss it, I'll ask Phil to give you a couple of information about where you can drop off some toys before the holiday season ends.
So the toy drive for the Untitled Children Jamaica Plane is going to continue through Saturday. This is probably the biggest toy drive that they rely on every year. So it's really important that we get them a lot of toys. You can drop off an unwrapped gift at Zucali on Causeway Street or at Lucia's on Hanover Street by Saturday so that we can deliver them in time for the holiday.
Thank you, Phil. As some of you may know, there's an Airbnb hearing. It's going on right now. We're in communication with the counselor, so if I hear any results, we'll be sure to announce them. But I know there's a long line for testimonials, so we don't know whether to expect anything tonight. But there was a hearing on that, so we can update the community once we get the results. There are a couple calendar things I'd like to discuss. So Wednesday at 6:30, Friends of the North End Library have their meeting. That's immediately followed by 7 o'clock NEMPAC Messiah concert at St. Stephen's. But be sure to reserve your free tickets online for them. January 29th is North End Against Drugs Bingo Day. That's a large success. It's held here at the Nazaro, so be sure to look for that and it's scheduled on your calendars. And then finally there's nights and in-house basketball games going on, so be sure to look for that schedule and share on the teams. As you may know, last year the Knights went pretty far, so we're expecting them to do well this year. And as always, the nursing home is an issue that we're trying to make sure that we're ahead of. There isn't any substantive update at this time other than an official statement that we've received from partners, which I'll read now so that everyone knows what's going on. On October 12th, Spalding agreed to delay the filing of our determination of need to transfer the Spalding North End skilled nursing license to new facility in Brighton until the end of November. We delayed in response to community concerns and at the request of elected officials in hopes that this would allow time to gain commitment from any interested party who would continue the nursing home operations in the North End in accordance with the existing land disposition agreement. There has been some interest, so we are further delaying the filing of our DON to allow our prospective nursing home operator to complete their due diligence, which we expect to be in the new year. We will be in a position to communicate more information and details once due diligence is completed and plan to come back before key stakeholders for an update at such time. So we'll know more towards the end of or beginning of the new year, and we expect to have them in front of us again so we know exactly what's going on with the nursing home. Now I'll turn to Danielle D'Ambrosio, who will offer a resident parking and traffic related.
I've mentioned in the past that we were interested in doing a pilot program for traffic and parking, where tickets for letting in resident when you're a non-resident would be increased from $40 to $100, and it would be based on game and events at City Hall Plaza in the Garden. I've received a lot of interest from residents for this program, and we spoke to Commissioner Fiandaca, from BTD and also Councilor Lamatina, who they're in support of it. We've gotten thumbs up. So what we'd like to do is put that on the agenda for for January's meeting and see what the residents think, and if we can get a petition and signatures on it and letters filled out. That's what they're looking for, and then they can escalate it. So please come to the January meeting and support that, and we'd like to hear your opinions on it. And then there's a couple of other parking updates that Maria Lanza is going to give you, so I'll defer to her on that.
Thank you, Danielle. And Sean Hennessy with the Public Safety Committee report, please.
Thanks, John. Fairly quiet month. Police reminding everyone that there's, I guess, I should say an epidemic, but certainly a wave of people who are walking. We talked about this at the last meeting, when they walk down the sidewalk and try to see what cars are unlocked just by trying to open the doors. So just reminding everyone to be careful of that. To obviously, when you leave your car, lock your doors. There was 1 aggravated assault, 3 auto thefts, and 2 larcenies. The aggravated assault was a fight between a couple of men. Apparently, a car was parked on the sidewalk on Prince Street. A man got hit in the head with a bottle, and the suspect has been ID'd, but so far no arrests. There was a car that was missing on 416 Hanover Street at the beginning of November, 99 town car. Police say it might have been towed. They're not quite sure what happened there. Another incident at Commercial Street 290, the VP parking lot. This person came back to retrieve their 2015 Mercedes from the lot. Wasn't there. A few minutes later, the attendant came back and apparently was driving it around. Went on a joyride. So that attendant was arrested for unauthorized use of the car. And then on 20 Charter Street, an Audi, 2013 Audi was parked for the Thanksgiving holiday between November 26th to 29th, parked there for 3 days. Person came back, the car was gone. This car had an encrypted key, so police say it's impossible to start without that encryption. And so police say one of 3 things happened. Either the car was towed, the person left the keys in the car, or the person parked the car someplace else. And there were 2 bikes stolen on Hanover Street, both belonging to the delivery service Polly's. There were a couple of arrests. Domestic violence, a husband assaulted his wife on 330 North Street. And then at 46 Cross Street, someone who was intoxicated, causing disturbance, threatening people for disorderly conduct at Pay Street. Police are also reminding everyone that it is the season where packages are stolen, so they're reminding everyone that if they're going to get a package delivered and you're not home, make sure you have it delivered someplace where someone is, business, a neighbor, what have you. And then police also said that the sex offender registry list was released, the updated one. They say there are roughly 120 level 2 and level 3 sex offenders in the district, including 1 level 3 man who lives here in the North End. He was convicted in 2005 of a rape and an assault. There are also roughly 60 or so level 3 sex offenders who live in the district, but a lot of them live at rooming houses or homeless shelters. There's 3 who live at the Bowden Street rooming house, 20 who live at the veteran shelter on Court Street, and 39 who live at the at 39 Boylston Street, the St. Francis House. And police say that sometimes these numbers are inflated because sometimes people who live in the suburbs will list a homeless shelter as their place of residence because they don't want their neighbors to know that they were convicted of sex offenses. So take the numbers at what you will, but that's the new news coming from the Sex Offender Registry. If you want to know, where these people are, where they live, the website is www.mass.gov/SORB, S-O-R-B. And next meeting is going to be January 5th.
Great. And I could provide the Greenway Committee a few things going on that they'd like me to share. Tomorrow is their board meeting. It'll take place at their office located on NEWNC Street. That's at 5:30, and it's open to the public. A few things to note: there was a record-setting attendance last year, or this year, 2016. So they were excited about that. There's a new mural down at Dewey Park. That's the Iranian artist Mehdi Gadyanlu, and I ask you to check that out. It's pretty nice. The winter lights displays are also going on, as well as caroling. That happens at the Greenway. The next will be this Friday at 5:30. There is also an opportunity to become a member of the Greenway, which allows you to get discounts on parking throughout the city and other sort of just ways to get some discounts and make you become a member of the Greenway. So be sure to check out rosekennedygreenway.org. And finally, they asked us to share that snow closings for the children are at times that they invite all the kids to come and build forks and snowmans and other things on the greenway. So, and I'm sure they'll allow adults too. So if you want to build your snow fort, then you can have there when that's in schooling school. At this time, I'd ask that the local elected officials provide their reports. Before I turn to Maria in the mayor's office, I'll just again reiterate that Councilor LaMattina and Captain Carangelo are at their meeting, so they cannot be here tonight. And our state representative, Aaron Michaelowitz, along with his aide, Patrick Lyons, are doing his annual toy drive tonight, so they can't be here. But that being said, Maria, I know you're going to cover some of them as well.
Hi everyone, Maria Lands, Man's Office of Neighborhood Services. I have a couple of updates. First off, the Boston Transportation Department is going to be updating some parking regulations on Hanover Street. So these new regulations will include a new valet parking zone which will be placed in between Wesley Place and Parmenter Street. The zone will be of shared use between businesses on Hanover Street. And with the addition of that, secondly, there will be almost 24 previously unregulated nighttime parking spots from Prince to Cross Street will now be resident permit parking from 6 p.m. to 8 a.m. The daytime use will remain the same, consistent with the sign, so commercial or 2-hour, but all of those will be 6 p.m. to 8 a.m. resident permit parking only. Various divisions of the Boston Transportation Department weighed in on this change, so from planning to engineering, they also factored in the basis of community need for resident permit parking. Obviously, it's a hot topic in the neighborhood, and in working with Councilor Salamatina, they believe this was the best option for both residents and businesses. Lastly, they're also currently working with Boston Public Schools to create nighttime resident permit parking at the Elliott School located at 585 Commercial Street, as well as eliminating the tour bus parking in front of the Storini Rink on Commercial Street and converting that to 24/7 resident permit parking. So those are some pretty exciting changes on the way from BTD. Also, I know some of you may have seen or gone down yet, but Boston Winter is open on City Hall Plaza. So as a part of Mayor Walsh's commitment to creating City Hall a both vibrant and welcoming place for all, there's a skating path, there's chalets with shops, there's a beer garden and a wine tent. So definitely check it out. The skating path will be open through February, and the holiday shopping market will run through New Year's Eve. 60% of the businesses in the Boston Winter Market are local, and so I invite you all to come visit me at work and definitely head on down and grab the skates. And then one last announcement, Mayor Walsh has just announced that the City of Boston's new default speed limit will be 25 miles per hour in residential neighborhoods, and this will go into effect on January 9th. So starting in the residential areas, it will be going down from 30 miles per hour to 25, various traffic accidents and crashes, so making our streets safer. And I hope you all have a wonderful holiday and Happy New Year. Thank you. Yeah, sure.
I know in front of the skating rink, the funeral home relies on that for their parking during wakes and funerals and stuff. Is that going to remain?
Yeah, so they're working with the funeral home to try to figure something out, but the tour bus parking will be, they'll now be going, they can do drop-offs on Commercial Street, but they won't be idling there. They'll have to take it around during the daytime and go to the yard in Charlestown.
Okay, and do you know when the Charlestown Bridge is going to be, that construction is going to begin?
Not until at least 2018, from my understanding.
Really?
And all of these changes on Hanover Street will be in effect by the end of the year. So, thank you.